Hola mi gente, que lo que was Here I am with Bojo getting punched in the face. How do you like them apples? Anyway, bienvenidos a sus 5 Minutes of Magic with Princess Carlina, warrior writer. Okay, so today we are still in the series of more or less writers' journals, right? Diary entries, and I've chosen a book that is not per se a diary entry, but it kind of is, because Matt Haig wrote this book. Most of it is basically things that he wrote to comfort him during difficult times and comfort him during lockdown, and so it is kind of his diary entry, and it's something that I consider it one. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about Matt Haig's The Comfort Book. Here it is. You get to see it, and you get to see how much I freaking love it, with all the highlights, post-its here, post-its there, all different colors and shapes. So for me, okay, the reason why this is important, I think this book is really important because especially at difficult times, it offers us value. I think it has a lot of nuggets of wisdoms. It highlights from philosophers from the past and present, and it's just sweet. And there are things, if you're anything like me, you have found this lockdowns, especially the last one, quite difficult. And I don't know if you saw my bamboo, now it's okay, but in April it was quite sad. It was all brown and dead, and I kind of felt like that, to be honest. Brown and dead inside. And people say, oh my god, you're so brown, like, oh my god, you're tanned, but really I'm just faffling, well, just feeling shit. And this book, it's kind of what has been nice about it, and it's given me, not that we need permission, but it's nice to know that someone struggles with similar things, such as just living and existing and coping and expectations of other people and ourselves, and it's just the fact that it allows us, it made me feel, I don't need to do all that. I don't need to always be busy. I can just be and find myself and who I am. And that's why this is so important. Like, there is one, honestly, I have so many highlights in here, but there is one thing that he says, I think it's at the beginning of the book, that it says, find a routine baggy enough to live in. And for me, it's like, it was like, okay, thank you. And every time I feel that I'm kind of having a bit of palpitations about not meeting the expectations for myself or for my husband or for life, or the fact that things that I need to do, work, and I always have to have a schedule and do this, it's like, hold on, calm down. What have you done today? Have you done things that have made you happy? And such as reading, doing Tai Chi, writing, meditating, and and this book is absolutely beautiful in that. So I'm going to read to you. Hope you find this 5 Minutes of Magic quite beautiful, because they really are to me. And I'm not gonna read one after the other. I'm just gonna take random bits throughout the book, because I think the whole book is just precious. So I hope you fly, as do I. Fly. Anyway, here we are. Here's my signature Princess Warrior sun timer. Yeah, bitch. Okay, and here it is, starting. This is a few don'ts. Don't envy things you wouldn't actually want. Don't absorb criticism from people you wouldn't go to for advice. My most important one, parenthesis, close. Don't fear missing parties. You would probably want to leave. Hello. Don't worry about fitting in. Find your own tribe. Heart emoji. Don't argue with people who will never understand you. Don't believe anyone has it all figured out. Don't imagine there is an amount of money or success or fame that could insulate you from pain. Don't think there's a type, a phase, or job or relationship that safeguards happiness. Nada es seguro, señores. No sé. Don't say yes to things you wish you had the confidence to say no. How many times have I been there? Don't worry if you do. So beautiful. And he says this as well. Other people matter, but there is no point becoming someone else in order to find others, in order to find friends, in order to find the people who like you. It is first necessary to be you. And then I say, it's okay to become someone else, if that's what you really want. Okay. Happiness occurs when you forget who you're expected to be and what you're expected to do. Happiness is an accident of self-acceptance. It's a warm breeze you feel when you open the door to who you are. Here he talks about loneliness. Loneliness isn't an absence of company. Loneliness is felt when we are lost. But we can be lost right in the middle of a crowd. There is nothing lonelier than being with people who aren't on your wavelength. The cure for loneliness isn't more people. The cure for loneliness is understanding who we are. How to be an ocean. You haven't failed in a moment of sadness. You haven't lost in a moment of defeat. You're not a statue standing in an eternal contrapposto. You are a thing in motion, a rising tide, a cresting wave. Your vast depths witness every marvel, every wonder. You are then marvelous and wonderful, so don't fight the moon, allow every tide, and give yourself time, and give all your wrecked ships the space to hide. On rest as well. Resting is doing. You don't need to be busy. You don't need to justify your existence in terms of productivity. Activity, como dice mi tía Australia. Que está en el meneo. Yes, but rest is an essential part of survival. An essential part of us. An essential part of being the animals we are. When a dog lies in the sun, I imagine it does it without guilt. Because as far as I can tell, dogs seem more in tune with their own needs. As I grow older, I think that resting might actually be the main point of life. Actually, I think so too. to sit down passively, inside or outside, and merely absorb things. The tick of a clock, a cloud passing by, the distant hum of traffic, a bird singing, can feel like an end in itself. It can actually feel and be more meaningful than a lot of the stuff we are conditioned to see as productive. Just as we need pauses between notes for music to sound good, and just as we need punctuation in a sentence for it to be coherent, we should see, rest, and reflect in the positivity. We should see it as, even sitting on the sofa, as an intrinsic and essential part of life that is needed for the whole of it to make sense. Now, my 5 minutes actually finished a little bit early, but I needed to finish that. So, check in with yourself, like my sun timer says. How do you feel? You know my papi, Don Carlos, he always asks my husband, Jonathan, hey Jonathan, how do you feel? And it's such a beautiful question. It's a question, that I ask, that I'm learning to ask myself. How do I feel? So how do you feel? It's time to check in. If you like this video, why don't you share it? Share it with your friends, with your family. Compartan esa vaina, no sean agayuse, people, hello. And I give you a massive virtual hug. Join me punching Bojo. Oh my god, I know, I am a bit crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me, and this is Princess Karlina, Warrior Writer. Share the video, let me know in the comments below what you think, have a listen at the others, and I will see you soon in your next 5 minutes of magic. The 5 minutes, by the way, are the 5 minutes of here, and the magic is infinite.